Rampage on his stream last night said that his son hasn't been the same since. I didn't know this, so just brace yourself. Since his mom got murdered.
But this don't got nothing to do with nothing that's going on. But all I'm going to say is that my son hasn't been the same since his mom got murdered. It hasn't, and I know that. And I've been trying to be there for him and, you know, make him laugh and cheer him up and everything. But I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't know what the fuck to do. And you know, I know my kids. He hasn't been the same with me. Like, he's just been distant from me. Like, he want to be more of a man and more of this. I don't know how to deal with this shit.
Damn, I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that either. I don't know if it has necessarily a place in this, because Rampage is throwing a lot of things out, which we'll get to. But that's what Rampage put out. Like, so I'm just saying, like, his mom got murdered. I don't know what age, but maybe somewhat recently. So maybe he's dealing with that stuff. You know, that's troubling in its own right, especially murder. It wasn't like natural causes, like cancer or something. So murder is like, you know, Khalil Roundtree spoke on it. His father got murdered, and he spoke about how, like, he felt like maybe people were, like, against him. It gives you, like, a certain anxiety, maybe. The fact that somebody you love was killed. You feel me? It's not... Yeah, so I'll give him some grace there. But I think, you know, that... Then you tie in with the head kick. You saw that tornado kick that got landed on his head in sparring, or no?
Yeah.
See, he got rocked, like, a couple days before, and he got viral for that.
Yeah.
So I think he's just dealing with some stuff. And it's not an excuse. I'm just saying, like, as a human being, like... I don't have to make an excuse, but we can like try to look into somebody's mindset a little bit and see why he got there.
Well, I mean, I'll just use myself as an example, bro. Like, you know, both of us have lost parents. You lost your parent at a younger age. You know what I mean? And like, if my mom was murdered,
That's
and
different.
I'm going through how my mom. I'm just thinking about the pain I feel right now. My mom passed away, pretty much from natural causes, and I'm hurting. And you have someone that's has your dad the way he is. I don't know, bro.
Because his dad's not super sensitive. You feel me? It's not like he sits down with his son and he's
when
like, "Hey, son,
everything's
how
kind
you
of
doing?"
a joke.
Yeah.
Everything's kind of a joke.
So he hasn't had that ability to vent. So he's not learning how to process that emotion. He's probably dealing with it on his own.
Yeah, but you're dealing. But here's the question too. It's like I even for myself as an example, I'm dealing with pain. How am I dealing with it? Right? I can go and do. You know, you know what I thought about one of the first times you and I did the show when my mom passed away. It's almost like you put on this strong face, but it's almost like too. It's like you want to like not dwell in it, so you're doing things. The pain is there, but you're trying to like do things so it doesn't feel so strong.
For me, I just didn't want to inconvenience other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's my problem. Like, I'm not, if I'm feeling down because my dad passed away, like, I know you probably don't want to, like, hear about it. So that's why I was moving on with that happy face like you're talking about.
Yeah, I think that, you know, internally we're all going to deal with it in different ways, right? Now, if him, what we're seeing right now, and I'm interested to, I'm interested to know how long ago was that? If that was like, I mean, I don't care how long ago, I guess. I mean, it could have been 5 years ago, 10 years ago. It's still super. That's a lot.
It's a lot. I gotta say, it took me a long time. I'm probably still not over my dad's passing, but like, I feel like about 10 years, I was still fucking shooks, bro. So, yeah. I was gonna say, if it's 5 years, it's probably still fucking bothering him.
Murder, right?
Yeah.
Just add that on.
And he's young. He's 20. He's not. It's not like he's whatever age it was. You know what I'm saying? But if he's 25 now, that means she passed away when he's young. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. Like, you didn't even have that. Like, it's a lot to it.
100%, bro. Like, I can only think about right now. I'm still dealing with pain in trying to heal, and that pain can come out in so many different areas, and anger is one of them.
Of course, yeah.
Anger is one of them, bro. And all that, and when you're young, all the outlets you're trying to do, live streaming, fighting, being popular, whatever thing we want to fill it. Maybe he's drinking, you know, we don't know if he's doing drugs, you know what I mean? Like dad's doing his thing. You're still looking for comfort from your dad too, bro, because that's all you have now.
You know, your dad's kind of like out live streaming all the time.
Your dad's wild.
Kicking it with like beat 25-year-olds.
His dad's wild, bro.
I've been saying on a side note, I'm like, Rampage, bro, I'm sick of seeing you with these young 30-year-olds. Like, first off, you could find yourself a badder 40-year-old MILF, like, with a kid.
Yeah.
Like, these, because Rampage is settling, he wants these young chicks, right? With no strings attached. But, like, dude, you're getting the bottom of the barrel of young chicks, no strings attached, because, like, you're, like, almost 50. Like, you're not getting that prime, like, young chick. You might as well get a prime older woman who you have stuff in common with and shit. By the way, he was venting this to his girlfriend about, like, his son being murdered. And, like, bro, that girl could, like, fucking air between her ears. Yeah, like, air between her ears.
Careless.
She's like, oh. It's like, Jesus Christ, you have nothing to fucking say?
You know what's interesting? I mean, this hits home for me. Just like I said, like, I can literally feel moments, and they're getting. I was watching a video of how I felt when my mom first passed away. The grief that was on my face. The moment I woke up, it was so hard to get out of my bed. It was lethargic, no motivation, just like heavy. Today, I was like, all right, I'm better, but it still hurts. And then I started thinking about all the consumption that you want to feel to not feel the pain. And then I kind of circled back around, and I know you've said this before too, is like, you know, happiness. And I was like, okay, if I took A out of the equation, I took B out of the equation, am I happy? I'm talking about stressors that makes you feel pain. And I was like, all right, maybe I'd feel happy. And then it goes back to, okay, so what are we all chasing? And so I think about Rampage, I think about John Jones, I think about Conor McGregor, you know, guys that are, you know, getting into that age where, you know, where I'm kind of at right now. It's like, if we don't solve this thing of keep chasing, you'll always be consumed with things that you think are going to make you happy. In these equations were drugs, sex, younger women, right? What does that come down to though? Sex. At the end of the day, to feel good, to feel happy, right?
He literally, I gotta say, it's because of the words you're using right now. Literally on his stream, he's telling his girlfriend, and this made me look down on Rampage, like, honestly. And you know, like, I feel like you've gone from me, like, I don't really look down on people's sexuality too much, but like I did judge him here. He's literally telling his girlfriend, like, you and your friends, like, to cheer me up, you and your friends, you and your hottest friends, he has to specify, like, you and your 3 hottest friends need to, like, all give me the Glock 3000 later tonight to cheer me up and make me happy. It's like, Rampage, you're speaking about your son committing, like, almost murder, and, like, you're on your stream asking this chick who could give 2 fucks about you, you know what I mean, for the Glock 3000 with her and 3 of her best friends. Like, bro, like, it gets to a certain point where it's like,
yeah, and here's the thing.
On camera, bro, like, why don't you say that shit, like, somewhere else? Like, he's gonna be like, oh, I'm a comedian. But, like, bro, you're also mixing in your real wants, and then when people don't fuck with it, you're just gonna fall back and be like, I'm a comedian. But if she says yes, you're gonna be like, oh, yeah, she said yeah, so fuck it. So, don't play with me, Rampage.
No, and I think, too, it's like you being young enough, you know, not 30 yet.
Yeah.
Where you can kind of look at it and be like, oh, that's like you feel like really?
Like, I'd much rather be, because I'm not saying this from a hate perspective. I'm even saying, like, I would really enjoy to see Rampage with, like, a badass 40-year-old. You know what I mean? Like, a woman who I would be like, I look at her, she's around the same age, and I'm like, oh, she probably loves him. Yeah. This girl, I look at her, and I'm like, she don't love you, bro. What the fuck you doing?
But if you look at the core of all of this, you know, it's this consumption. It's the, you're still chasing to feel good. And that drug in itself, you're chasing youth, you're chasing drugs, you're chasing alcohol. and you can see it, and you can see it, and you can see like you could look at these older guys, and I'm older than you too, and it's like you can judge though. I honestly, I think you have the right to judge because it's almost like that's not where I would want to be when you get to that point in life, you know? When you get to that point in life, you hopefully you're gonna be like, nah, man, I've done A, B, and C, and I'm content of where this is at. So the fame, now you add the fame and the money to all this and the live streaming. What does that build? Your notoriety.
It gives you those things a little bit easier.
Well, but not only that, it's another endorphin. It's another high in being famous and being a live streamer and looking at all the views. It's another form of all of that, right? But you're seeing it at like you're right, bro. To me, it's his son probably needs his dad. He doesn't need his dad to be live streaming and talking like that. That's I don't know. That's hard to even hear.
Yeah, it was. I was like cringing at it. And I'm not like a cringe-worthy guy because I feel like when you say you're cringing at people, like you're super judgmental. And I'm not a guy who sits back thinking I'm like above you. So I don't like to say that. But when I listen, I'm just like, bro, like, especially like you and your 3 best friends. It's like, bro, that's your girlfriend, isn't it? Like, you got no respect for her? Like, I don't know.
But it's like this, if he was 30, you could kind of like, all right, whatever, Oh, he's 25, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You could give it kind of a pass, like, hey,
he's young, he's fucking around, he's funny. Like, I would be like that.
But now we're kind of doing a Diddy thing.
Yeah, it's like you're old. There's like a 25-year-old age gap between you guys. Oh, I had more to say about it. What did you just kind of get done saying? Just like how you said, I'm able to kind of identify it and shit. Like, this is what I was gonna say. Wouldn't it be more beneficial for Raja too? I mean, I feel like this is a little bit of a selfish move for Rampage because if I was a father like that, my son's mom got murdered, and I'm over here talking about it on stream. So clearly, you're not clueless, right? He's clearly not clueless about that fact that his son is struggling with the fact that his mom got murdered, and like. Doesn't it cross your mind, Rampage? Like, okay, maybe just settle down with like a good woman who could even provide a motherly role to my son, who I see struggling. You already admitted that you see him struggling, so we can't even, you admitted to that. So you see your son struggling, and it doesn't even cross your mind like that the women you bring into your life would probably have some type of benefactor in that.
A trigger,
and that to say too. A nice, sweet, older woman with a motherly instinct could come in and be like, hey, Raja, how are you? Give him that motherly feel. Look what, for example, Max Holloway's fucking wife. Right? He didn't have a mom. His mom, whatever, was not in the picture or something like that. Max's baby son. Max gets married to a good woman who he wifes up, and then she comes in and gives a motherly role to him, and the son is thankful and has asked for custody and all that stuff. I feel like that's what Rampage ideally should be like for his son. I know his son's 25, but like, I don't know how long ago she passed away, but like, bro, if she passed away like 7 years ago and you're still like this, come on, bro. Chill, like, come on, bro. You should have tried to wife up when you were like four years removed from her passing or something like that. Am I crazy?
No, and I would say this too. Like I said, I mean, I can only speak on it because my mom just passed away a few months ago, and you need your dad, and because you're going through pain, and you need that comfort and love because there's man, it was crazy. I heard this story about someone that she lost her dad at a very young age, and the mom is homeless right now. That's how down of a spiral the family went.
Bro, my dad had made all the money in my family. It wasn't that easy. Like, bro, similar story. We weren't homeless by any means, but bro, my dad made all the money in the family. We had to like move out of our house and go get like an apartment, like a big ass house that we had. We had to go move in an apartment. But go on. I'm just saying, like, that shit happened to me too.
Yeah. So it's and when I'm using this your scenario and this scenario to think about like Rampage, like. Your son's hurting, and you're doing all this other wild shit, and now we're seeing the results of your son wilding out. What's next? Because the pain that his son's going through, and you're not being there for him, and you're seeing your dad doing all these other things. where he probably should just be at home chilling. Like, hey son, let's eat dinner tonight.
Give him that family vibe that his son is clearly
Whole
missing.
family vibe.
You know what I'm
Whole
saying?
family.
Yeah.
Bro, come stay with me. I got a room for you. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm gonna chill the fuck out for the next year, however long it takes for you to kind of get back up. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't know, man. I can only speak for myself, and I know what I'm going through right now, and I appreciate that my dad, even though he isn't the most sensitive man in the world, he at least is trying to call, at least is trying to check in, try to be there, and I now thinking about it, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I
and
need,
who knows?
I need that.
Right, everybody does. You know, the funny thing is, too, it's two ways. You know, I'm sure Rampage had his own struggles, knowing that his wife got murdered, and that it's all on him to take care of his son now, no split custody. He probably feels like a little bit of a weight on his shoulders, and maybe he's coping by going out and not wanting to accept his new life, right? But it's like, bro...
But you're coping in all the wrong ways.
Yeah, and this kind of thing happens. You got to probably settle in, with your son a little bit. But it might have been so far removed, so I don't want to, we're speculating maybe too much at this point. But it's worth speaking about because I see a lot of people talking like Rampage doesn't deserve shit and all this stuff. And I don't think he really deserves shit. I didn't come on here to criticize him at all today. But if we are going to speak on like Rampage in certain ways, I feel like what we just touched on is probably like a good angle of like analyzing it. His fatherhood and what his son is going through. And, a little bit of neglect, I would say, a little bit of neglect towards his son. Emotional neglect. I know he's there for his son. I know he probably pays for his son financially. But again, I also kind of said, when you pay for your son a lot too, he's 25, right? But he's like 21 mentally. He ain't been through shit. So, like, for example, I worked in customer service when I'm like 16. Like, my parents forced me to get a fucking job. So, like... I've learned how to deal with shit to where I don't crash out. I'm like, oh, people, sometimes there's just shitty people out there. I've dealt with shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to eat shit and keep my job to make money. Raja, think about it. He's never had to go work at Chipotle and take shit from someone. And you know that there's a lot of people in this world, right? Where you see them acting rude and it's a saying. Like, oh, they never worked in customer service, right? So I'm just saying, like, Raja's 25, but his dad's also taking care of him a lot financially.
Yeah, he's 25, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so he's really 21 mentally, though. He's been under his dad's tit for a long time. And, maybe his dad's coping, making up for things. He's paying for him because he knows he can't help him emotionally. And again, I'm just saying all these things. No hate on Rampage, but we're just diving into it.
And here's the thing, too, is like, as we look at our parents, right? Our parents... are going through their own coping mechanisms.
They're not perfect. That's what I've learned.
Right, they're not perfect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the coping mechanisms that we can gravitate towards when these type of things happen will tell us how we handle things, when they raise in the future, when they come in the future. Mm-hmm. So if Rampage is acting out, how do you think his son's gonna? What that's a prime example. What's gonna happen with the son?
His son is learning from him, right? He sees his dad's coping mechanism. So Roger's I need to get myself a couple bad bitches.
If he's getting drunk and you're not dealing with it, what do you think the son's gonna do? The son's gonna get drunk times 10.
Right.
If the dad's getting in an argument and a fight, and his dad is a trained athlete, his dad could probably fuck somebody up. We know he can. The son wants to still beat you. We all want to kind of be like get our dad's approval. How's that? Is that a fair assessment?
That's a fair assessment, yeah.
Right. You want your dad's approval, but your dad was a champion, So will we ever be a champion in the UFC? I mean,
no.
So what are the other areas that we could gravitate toward to still say, oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, I'm doing this, And I think these are the same. This is the son that we always see the videos with him him and his son, right? Like on some of the podcasts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I love their interaction because Rampage always likes to mess around with them,
mm-hmm.
and he's like, "Oh, my son thinks he could beat me up," And there is like they race and shit. I love those interactions because it feels like so fatherly. But to this core of you now being put in a situation where this happened, it's almost like a cry for help, man.
A little bit, right? It shows that there's something awry.
There's something
maybe
deep.
you're not being like the worst father in the world, because you just said they got a lot of beautiful moments. They seem to have a decent relationship, but maybe it's just like it exposes the fact that, like, you know, Rampage just needs to tighten up a little bit. Tighten up a little bit and just, I don't know, be there for your son in this tough time. Clearly your son is going through something. Just be there for your son. And that whole bowling shit, I wasn't a fan of seeing him out bowling last night. I know you're not just, your son lives in a separate house and shit like that, but I don't know, man. I feel like almost... Rampage, I almost feel like shouldn't have even gotten into it. Like, it's weird because your son is 25. And your son's apologizing for you. He's 25. Yeah. I don't care what your daddy has to say.
Yeah, no, you're a grown man by now, at that point. I will say this, that, you know, there are moments, there's a time and place for everything. There's a time and place to play around, and there's a time and place to be there with your family. Mm-hmm. You know, I would say this. Let's just say this. Like, you know, my mom passing away. Let's say you just saw, like, hey, you know, I'm at the strip clubs. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. You know, a part of you would probably be like, hey, you know, is everything okay? Like, you see me on Instagram, like, with, you know, 4 or 5 different girls. I'm like, I'm spending money at strip clubs. I'm going to Vegas. What am I really doing? I'm trying to hide the pain.
Yeah, I would be like, damn, bro, like, you just went through that and you're doing this. But then Rampage, here's kind of what you said earlier. Rampage falls under the guise of, like, but I'm now a streamer. Gotta do a live stream. Gotta go out. Gotta feed the audience. So it really conflates things. But why not do a live stream from home? Fucking cooking with your girl. She ain't that type of girl, that's why, Rampage.
Yeah, and I think that the bigger picture here is that, you know, there's a time and place for everything. You know, if this was, you know, like I said, I don't know when his mom was murdered, you know.
But there's even a time and place to go bowling, I feel like, on a live stream 2 days removed from your son's thing. Like, I even think that's, like, take out the mom from it. I think on a smaller scale, your son just did that and you're going out bowling. Not to nitpick you, but it's just like your friends are taking you out to go, like, taking you out, bro, like you're saying too, like, just be home. Like, where's the happiness at home? You gotta get taken out. Like, maybe we're two different people, but I know a lot of people like Rampage where they're super itchy and they can't just sit anywhere. They always got to go out and do something. So maybe Rampage is that guy, and I'm not gonna fully blame him, but that's what I would say. Even on a smaller scale, just going bowling and hanging out, like, 2 days removed, it's like, bro, just, like, lay low, man. Just lay low.
It's one thing to go bowling and to get out. It's another thing to live stream it.
Yes, and then also, so let's get into a couple other things, like, well, side note, and then also asking for the Glock 3000. It's like, bro, oh my god, you're almost pathetic now. But wait, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're right. No, okay. You're right.
I just want to ask something that kind of, like, was just a thought I have. Like, because, right, that guy Stu, he started it. He came up to Raja, right, and hit him with that can. So I guess it is worth saying that, like, that guy could learn something too. You know, don't be going up and, like, smashing, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was a little much. Well, because if that never happened, Raja never reacts, right? And I'm not saying that guy's to blame, but it's like, this should be discussed.
Bro, all of it. Now that I got a clear picture here, it all of a sudden seems Raj in general, bro, is a walking bomb to happen. You can't go through all that and not expect collateral damage and shit to explode, unless you're really trying to heal and try to handle it. Stu, see, when I first saw that, I was like, oh, it's wrestling. Mm-hmm. I didn't. Like, when I saw that, right? And then I saw them talk afterwards, and then Stu apologized, right? Mm-hmm. Like, hey, you know, like, blah, 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 blah. Like, hey, you know, like almost like, hey, this is a gimmick, bro. Like, we're just, you know, this wrestling. Then I see all this other stuff transpire, and like you said, I now knowing this, I just think that he got too much shit going on to handle any of this.
I think so. The last thing I'll say, though, is
And Stu learned something for sure.
Stu learned, don't be smashing cans over people's head. This is what I would say, though, with Stu is, like, I feel like Stu was a little bit buzzed. I've analyzed a lot of the footage, And when he was apologizing to Raja, when Raja came up to him, the way Stu was like moving his hands and speaking, it wasn't super clear. It was very like a drunk guy. So he might have drank too much, wasn't able to make a sober decision, right? So I feel like, yeah, that guy can learn something. And then Raja also, he definitely overreacted, but it's worth noting too, because I wonder how it's going to play out in court. Because yes, Raja should have never done what he done, but they also gave him permission, right, to go do that, kind of. He took it a step too far, but they gave him permission, which is kind of crazy. And then also you can say Raja would have never done what he done if that guy never hit him in the head. So, like, I'm curious to see how this plays out.
Honestly, you know what? This could be a blessing. I hate to say it like this too. One or two things are gonna happen, bro. Something else is gonna happen with this kid, with this man, and it's gonna be worse, like a drunk driving incident, a manslaughter, something like.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's something underneath all of this. Like, this is just a smaller issue. It's blown up because of who it is and how it happened. You know, but underneath that, Raja is definitely dealing with something, and if that family doesn't try to help resolve it, we could be talking about, like you just said, bro, how long it's taken for you to get where you're at just with your pops.
Mm-hmm.
Just a brief little thing where I've been able to get to just with my mom's, and she passed away on natural, you know, like whatever you call it, like
natural causes.
So I'm just saying it could be a blessing, because maybe someone could take him aside and take him under his wing and give him a lot of love and be like, man, we're if we don't go down a different path. You know how you see some of those stories, like what was that guy that beat up that girl? Now he's spending in prison, and he was in a UFC. It was another episode on Vice with that one. I'm gonna forget his name, but someone even said on there, it was like, man, if maybe we could have just took him this way, and his whole path would have been different.
Yeah,
you know, there are these moments in life where it's gonna get worse if we don't start looking at really what's happening.
So that's pretty much what Sean Strickland's saying, actually. So Sean Strickland believes that he should go the rehabilitation route instead of jail. Me personally, I'm just not a person who would wish jail upon anyone. Like, I'm not going to sit on my fucking in front of a camera and advocate for someone to go to jail. It's just not really me. So, but, like, you know, whatever he is the best course of action for Raja, I hope that, you know, it works out for him.
Did he get arrested that night?
He didn't get arrested. There's no investigation that's even started. So that's where, like, weird shit comes into play, too. Like, there's no investigation that's been started. But, you know, besides that point...
It's a weird area, because it's almost like it happened within a ring.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if this was out in the streets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cops pulled up, someone like, hey, you know, there was an attack, you know what I mean? Like, you get arrested right then and there. So it's a whole different, like, what city were they in? Was that Vegas?
I heard they were in Torrance, California.
Oh, they were in Cali.
Yeah, so, but you can even, to your point, that's what I'm saying. Raja has a decent defense. Raja can go in there and say, and there's camera footage of pro wrestlers from that event telling him, go get that receipt, right? Go get your lick back. And so he had all this permission. Raja just took it too far. So it's like, Raja can, you know.
How many hits was there? How many was
20.
It like 20?
I counted 20. I'll give him grace and say he missed one and hit him on the chest. So 19.
So let's just say 15.
We don't even need to say 15. I'm giving him grace with the 20. I counted it. Like, I rewatched it a bunch of times. 19. 19 is grace.
Where do you think he got knocked out, like around 4 or 5?
I think he was knocked out from the slam. I do. Because especially if that guy was buzzed before the event, a slam like that's going to put you out. You're already buzzed.
Here's my thing, too. He wasn't all cut up.
He wasn't cut up. You saw that video, too.
So
or you saw the new picture of him awake.
Okay, here's the thing. If he would have came out of that picture just like
purple and blue,
bro, cuts purple and blue, your whole perspective on what happened would be different.
Mm-hmm.
If we were sitting here like, damn, like just like Norma Dumont, would Norma have? Remember she had that huge like if we saw something like that, my whole attitude could be a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
He got fucked up. I don't know. Does he deserve jail time? I don't know.
I'll say this. I won't again, and you don't even have to. I'll save you. Don't even answer that question. I think that's a setup in its own right. You don't need to answer that question. Let's answer this question. Will he face jail time? I will say. I'm gonna say predict. No, he won't. They're just gonna settle. They're just gonna settle.
Well, I don't. Okay. Has the other guy homie came out? What has he responded to anything? Was he in a coma?
Yeah, he hasn't spoken. Just people are speaking for him.
He was in a coma?
Or
no? He woke up when they
I think he was like in a coma or something like that, or maybe he was like awake but just unresponsive, and now he's conscious.
Okay. Let's do this. Part 2 maybe next week. We get some more information to come out. Initially, I would say sure, give him a little bit of jail time. I can't honestly see him doing more than 30 days.
Yeah.
Maybe probation, you know what I mean? Like if it goes to court, because if you put him in jail, he'll just be honored in there for it.
Mm-hmm.
No one in jail is gonna be like, oh, and you a bitch. That's not the world of jail.
No, they're gonna love him. He's Rampage Jackson's son.
Yeah, they're gonna love him.
Yeah.
This isn't the same kind of love you get Cain Velasquez. This is just the kind of love of like that's the world that it is.
Mm-hmm. They love that shit in there.
Yeah, that's the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're walking into. That's how you get your hand raised in there. So
so you think he deserves jail time?
I don't know. I wouldn't say deserve, right? I would say
he'll get probably
the court system maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Honestly, because if they go to court and like, if he hasn't even since he hasn't even been arrested, it'd be different. Like, oh, he got arrested, and he's in county right now, and he just got bailed out. He's gonna be, pending court charges. I have a different take on it. The fact that he didn't get jailed, the fact that it was inside like an organization, like an event.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be hard for the police to kind of like involve themselves in that, especially if wrestlers don't want to speak, because that's been another thing. The promotion itself sent a text thread to the wrestlers saying, hey, if law enforcement contacts you, reach out to us for help on how to provide a statement. Yeah.
So Stu will go one or two ways, right? Stu will go and say, I'm going for your money, or B, I knew what I was getting myself into. That's the wrestling game.
Mm-hmm.
You'll go one or those are the two ways you'll go.
And without there being a legal investigation right now, I feel like I don't think he's gonna face any jail time. I don't even think he's gonna face criminal charges. There's no investigation. Nothing's been opened.
And here's the thing too. So like I said, this is dangerous water, right? It's dangerous water for Raja because either A, this can explode to something even bigger because of no consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Now you feel like I can do anything almost, you know what I mean? But you still have all this pain you're not dealing with. So you're still out getting drunk. You're still doing this. You're still going to events. You're still messing with your dad. You're still live streaming. You're still getting notoriety. You're doing all these things to keep suppressing the pain.
Mm-hmm.
Something else happened that could be worse, because another thing could happen that could trigger, and boom, you just blow up.
Yeah. So he's got to figure out like where he went wrong there himself, analyze that himself, and kind of like learn how to like not make that mistake again. That would be my suggestion.
And if we can, and maybe Rampage does start. I honestly don't know. Like I'm
Rampage needs to stop being with whatever girl he's with right now. Let's start with him separating from her and finding a nice 40-year-old woman, 45-year-old woman, nice pretty woman. There's plenty of them out there, Rampage. Like, bro, your girl is fucking like Rampage. If you see this, I'm happy you see this because it's the advice you need to hear. Your girl ain't hot at all. Ain't fucking hot at all.
I'll tell you this. Let's say my dad.
There's 45-year-old women hotter than her.
I'd say that before my mom passed away, me and my dad, bro, like opposite sides of the room. If I see you, I see you. That's the kind of relationship we had. Like I don't need to be around you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
After my mom passed away, we've been texting. He's been checking in. You know, we were in a group chat with me and my brother. Like we've all got closer. And it was funny. I told my dad a weekend ago. I was like, all right, I don't need the text every day anymore. You helped me through this first couple of months. You know what I mean? Like we let's do once a week now. But I have to appreciate that he did that.
No, definitely.
In one way or another, he does it in his weird way because he's not gonna be like, "Hey, my dad doesn't say I love you." He's not that type of dad. You know what I mean? But it for my dad, it's his actions. My dad's the type of person like, "Hey, did you have food on the table?" Yeah. You're welcome. Like that's it. Like it's his actions. You know what I mean? Super old school like that.
Yeah, being there for you.
Yeah. So he doesn't need to say I love you, and he didn't get that when he grew up. You know what I mean? So
right. Before we move to, go ahead.
I was gonna say just with Rampage, like man, just take 3 months, and just put that aside without nobody else.
Yeah, and I mean really,
no women, no live streaming, no Jackson podcast, no nothing.
Just put your son first for a little bit.
You and your family.
Put yourself first. Put your son first for a little bit. Figure it out.
You and the family. Just take a little pause. That's it.